It's Drewski McGillicuddy's 5 more horror movies you've probably never heard of. Did I get you? Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy. Sorry about that. I gotta stay in practice in the off season. I work at the Denton Schoolhouse. It's a haunted house in Cincinnati. We're actually famous. Look it up. Anyway, that's my character. We're gonna do this. It's 5 more horror movies you probably never heard of because I didn't have anything better to do. I ain't got time to watch the movie. I want to keep making content, so figure this is easy enough. This might be my last one for a while because there's not many more on here that I think you might not have heard of. So maybe I'll start doing ones you probably haven't seen, because I know I've got some stuff that you've probably heard of that you probably haven't seen. I don't know. I have no idea. You people don't talk to me. I tell you to leave a comment in the comment section down below. You don't do it, but here I am, just making videos for the hell of it. Anyway, we're gonna start off with number 5 from 2008, starring one of my favorites, Thora Birch. You might remember her from Monkey Trouble, Hocus Pocus, Now and Then. Oh, Now and Then, I love that movie. I'm gonna have to review that sometime. We're just gonna have a Thora Birch marathon one time, and I'm gonna rank all of her movies that I've seen, because once she got past this movie, it started going downhill. But this movie's from 2008, and it's called Train. And it's about a wrestling, I guess they're college kids. They're on a wrestling team, and they're in, like Northern Europe. They're somewhere they're across the pond somewhere. And they get drunk, and I guess they missed their train, so they gotta take this other train. And then it ends up, basically this movie's Hostel on a Train. Now, this movie's very underrated. It's got a 4.8, which doesn't make any sense to me because I kind of like this better than Hostel. And that's not really saying much because I'm not really big on the whole, hey, look, somebody's getting their Achilles tendon cut off, because who wants to actually watch that shit? But anyway, that's because you're a sick bitch. Anyway, yeah, so if you haven't seen Train, and you like the torture porn genre, that's kind of what this movie is, but it's not as... I don't think it beats you over the head as much with it. But, I mean, it's got Thora Birch in it. That's worth watching it right there on its own. So, if you haven't seen Train, check that out. If you have seen Train, let me know. Because I'm sure the only person that's ever seen this movie is Jason Smith. Other than myself. Maybe Wolf Myers. Let's see. Number 4 is I would hope that people have heard of this, if not seen it, because this movie, it's a cult classic. It is a bona fide cult classic, and it's only 11 years old. From 2007, Jack Brooks' Monster Slayer, and this has Robert Englund. He plays a small role or a big role, depending on how you want to look at it. But Jack lost his parents at a young age. They were camping out, and his parents were eaten by monsters, I guess. And he watched it all happen. So he devotes his life to training to kill monsters, because one day they may return, and he'll have to deal with it. So he goes to a night school, and I can't really remember what happens, but something happens, and people start turning into monsters. And then Jack has to start killing the monsters. I mean, the title's pretty self-explanatory. Jack Brooks' Monster Slayer. What do you think the movie's about, I'm just telling you about it so that you know about it so you can watch it, okay? I don't want to spoil nothing for you. So if you haven't seen Jack Brooks' Monster Slayer, go check that one out. And if you have seen it, like I said, don't just keep it to yourself. I want to know what you thought. Why don't you tell me what you thought? Even if you haven't seen it yet, go watch the movie, and then come back to this video and go leave a comment. I wanna talk to you people about these movies, so I don't think I'm just doing this just for the hell of it. Okay? All right. So we're gonna move it along. That's one of my catchphrases. If you haven't noticed over the period of a course. Yeah, that's right. From director Chris Smith, who directed one of the movies. Oh. Shut the fuck up! What am I talking about now?
Chris Smith.
Christopher Smith directed Creep from my very first list that I made several months ago. Maybe you've seen it, but yeah, Creep. But this movie is called Triangle, and it's from 2009, and it stars one of the horror goddesses of my generation, your generation, however old, I don't know how old you people are. But maybe you know Melissa George from 30 Days of Night, the Amityville horror remake. But yeah, Melissa George, even when she's hot and sweaty and being chased by a killer, she's still fine. Look at her. Just look at her. I mean, would you just look at her? I mean, damn. I mean, I wonder what she looks like all dolled up. I don't think I've ever seen her all dolled up. Let's see what she looks like all... Wow! I still think she looks better hot and sweaty. Anyway, so Triangle revolves around a group of friends that are out on a yacht. Alright? And obviously, according to the title of the movie, they end up in the Bermuda Triangle, and they come across some mishaps. And then these mishaps lead them having to deboard one boat to aboard another boat. So once they aboard that boat, somebody starts killing them off one by one, and then you start to notice a weird something weird going on. Okay, and I don't want to get into it because this is a movie that definitely do not read anything about it. Do not. I wouldn't even. I'm just showing you this poster because some of the other posters kind of, you know, I don't want to ruin the movie in any way possible if you haven't seen this movie, because this is probably, I probably should have put this one at number 1. This is like a damn good movie. But like I said, if you've seen it, comment. If you haven't seen it, still comment. Just leave a comment. Just leave a goddamn comment. It's not like, you know, not like I'm asking for your money yet. Seriously, can I have $1? Like, I'm balling on some hard times, people. But anyway, so Triangle from 2009. Go watch the fucking movie! Now, moving on. What the fuck? How many numbers? I put... Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. But see, I can't fucking count either. So number 4 is from 2007. And it stars my buddy Sam Rockwell. It also has Vera... What the fuck is her name?
Vera Farmiga.
Vera Farmiga from The Conjuring. And nobody... I've never heard anybody talk about this movie. Never seen... Like, obviously, with like a lot of these movies, never heard or seen anybody talk about them. This movie's called Joshua from 2007. And Sam Rockwell plays a father, and his wife is played by Vera Farmiga. And then I didn't bother to look up the kid's name because it's really not that important. All you really need to know is this movie is like, it's tense. It's like, you ever wanted to just punch somebody in the fucking mouth so hard, but you couldn't do it because you were watching a movie and they didn't exist in real life? That's this movie. Now, this movie's kind of reminiscent of The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin, whereas it's this kid, and there's just something about this kid that you just want to strangle him. And there's a scene in the movie where I don't want to talk about it. So there's a bunch of scenes in this movie, okay? So when you watch it, you'll notice that, you know, like scene after scene, there they are. But this kid in this movie, and this is probably the lowest, most underrated movie on this list because, was it 4? I can't remember what it is. But whatever it is, it's ridiculous because unless people are just giving this a bad grade just because of the simple fact that this movie pissed them off to their core. Because this movie will piss you off to your core because this kid is so good at getting under your skin. I mean, honestly, they should have gave this kid an Oscar. I want to see what the hell happened to this kid. This kid needs to be more things. Like, maybe I should have looked him up. Let's do that. Let's look this kid up, see if he's been in anything. Hell, for all I know, this is the kid from The Killing of a Sacred Deer. Or hell, it might even be the kid from, who knows. But yeah, the kid in this movie, he's a little bastard. I don't want to kill him. But yeah, I haven't seen this movie. Like, none of these movies I've seen in a really long time. So maybe one of these days we'll sit down and we'll go ahead and start reviewing all the horror movies you might have never seen, heard of, or whatever the hell the goddamn title's called. Alright, so instead of rambling on, we're going to go ahead and move it on to number 1. Now, this is where I'm cheating now. There's 2 movies. One is the original. It's called Reeker, and it's from 2005. And I forgot to write down the other one. And the other one is No Man's Land, The Rise of the Reeker. Now, these movies, I can't tell you that because that'll kind of ruin the movie. Yeah, I don't want to ruin these movies either. But basically, these kids get stranded. In both of the movies, it's about somebody being stranded. And technically, I guess this thing's supposed to be the Grim Reaper, and he's coming to collect their souls, take them to hell. The makeup effects in this movie are amazing. Some of the kills are very interesting, but just the look of the Reeker, it's a modern day Grim Reaper. That's why I think it's the Grim Reaper. I mean, what up? I mean, yeah, sure, he's going around killing all these people, but you know, he still has there's something about him that makes him remind me of the Grim Reaper. Watch the movie and you'll find out why I feel that way. I don't know. I feel like I've already said too much, but obviously, with a lot as most horror films, the first one is far superior to the sequel prequel. Because yeah, it's the sequel prequel's technically an origin story, but there are some scenes in this one that are better than some of the scenes in the first one, but it's more few and far between. And the story in the second one's not as good as the story in the first one. The characters are, like, you know, it's got the same problem as every single horror sequel, but it still holds up to the original. It's just not as good as the original. And I personally would have loved to see a couple more of these movies. Maybe one of these days, somebody will watch these movies and they'll think to themselves, you know what? This was a great idea. Let's keep it going. And they don't have to necessarily remake it, but if they remade it, I wouldn't be mad. But it's only 11 years. Wait a minute. No, it's from 2005. So, yeah, apparently that's just the right amount of time ago to remake something, because they're already wanting to remake Friday the 13th and well. Anyway, Reeker, No Man's Land, whatever. Have you seen either one of these? Did you know? If you've seen the one, did you know that there was the other one? Or if you've seen that one, did you know that there was this one? Let me know. That's all I want to know, is what have you people seen, so that I know what to do in the next video. As a matter of fact, maybe you could suggest the next video. I mean, I eventually want to do a bunch of stuff. But, you know, maybe if you guys strike a chord with me and leave a comment that says, hey, you know, that's what I want to see, I'll do what you want me to do, okay? I will do what you want me to do. Now make sure you like the video, dislike the video if you didn't like it, share it with your friends, and, you know, tell your mom, like, look, moms love my hair. It's a known fact. You know, Sarah's mom loves my hair.